What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero, and welcome back to the UCL. This week, we're team building for the playoffs, so get hyped because the matches are starting to matter a lot more than they used to. And once again, we're going up against Jerry, who we actually beat in the last week. That being said, because he lost, he gets to make adjustments, he gets to team build a bit more, think back on the battle and see what he could have done better, and I've done the same, of course. But again, this is going to be a pretty tough battle because, of course, he's got a lot of threats, and I'm really most worried about him from an offensive standpoint. He didn't bring a lot of his offensive threats last time, but if he brings them around this time, we're going to be a little bit more difficult. So, moving on, I first of all wanted to use Expert Belt Hitmonlee as opposed to Choice Scarf Hitmonlee because I really wanted that flexibility, and I outspeed a lot of his mons regardless. To beat Bisharp, to beat Espeon, my close combat does a ton of damage to just about everything on his team. I'm Jolly with enough speed to outspeed Mamoswine, so I don't have to mess around with Mach Punches on that. I do a lot of damage to Sawsbuck. I almost OHKO after rocks with Sucker Punch on Mega Banette. I'm guaranteed to Sucker Punch KO Espeon. Sucker Punch does a good amount of damage to Venomoth. And yeah, Sucker Punch plus Thunderbolt or what's it called? Zen Headbutt from Jirachi can do some work on Manaphy. Sucker Punch KO's Drifblim. Yeah, this Mon actually puts in like a lot of work this match. Mach Punch does a lot to Kabutops. And yeah, I expect Hitmonlee to be a big player. Moving on to Heatran, I actually didn't change Heatran at all. I really liked the set I brought last time, and it really does its job well. Lava Plume to hit almost everything hard, potentially get burns, Flash Cannon for Spadef drops, and it's there for Aromatisse, beats that 1v1. Toxic for anything that might want to switch in, or if I don't want to KO a Destiny Bond Mega Banette. And Stealth Rock because Stealth Rock are always great, although I expect him to bring Espeon because Magic Bounce was so good against me last time. Next of all, we got Suicune. I didn't expect Suicune to do too much work, but it does take on one or two of his physical attackers, and it's one of my few answers to Manaphy. Manaphy and Bisharp were two mons I was super afraid of, so Suicune takes on Bisharp, non-offensive Conkeldurr, but I have Zapdos for that, and I'll mention that in a bit. It can take on Aromatisse, it can boost up alongside it, it can take on Mega Banette, it takes on Kabutops, Steelix, Weezing even, maybe Drifblim, maybe, and it actually takes on Sawsbuck pretty well. But it only takes on Manaphy if it's a Calm Mind set, because I actually pressure stall that. But if it's a Tail Glow set, I can't really do much to it, maybe get a burn, which would be nice, but it doesn't really matter if he's like Rain Dance, Tail Glow, which would suck. But if he's got an Energy Ball and Tail Glow, he can boost up a lot faster than I can. And I actually have a plan for that. And that Mon is Zapdos. So first of all, I have Thunderbolt, so that if he brings Manaphy, I start off with Zapdos. Like, I cannot let that thing get up a Tail Glow, because then it will just wreak havoc on my team. And I have, like, backup strats, but Thunderbolt does around 80% to Manaphy, so Thunderbolt into Sucker Punch, or Thunderbolt into Scarf, Zen Headbutt will KO Manaphy, which is really nice. Also, if he wants to bring like AV Bisharp or something bulky like that, I have Heat Wave. I actually take hits from Bisharp pretty well, and I beat every form of Conkeldurr. I actually have, well, first of all, from an EV standpoint, I brought 44 Spadef EVs so that I cannot be 2-hit KO'd by Ice Beam from an offensive Manaphy. So this makes it really important. I can switch in on an Ice Beam, I can take another Ice Beam and get Thunderbolt damage off, as long as it's not boosted up, of course. And my defense allows me to take less than 50% from an Ice Punch from an offensive Life Orb Conkeldurr, and if he wants to get cheeky and predict my Roost and go for Drain Punch, I still take less than 50%. So I do beat Conkeldurr 1v1 with this Mon, which is really nice. Thunderbolt should do like 20-30% to AV Conk, I think, and like 40% to an offensive Conkeldurr. So yeah, Zapdos is going to be able to put in a lot of work. Outside of that, it's really helpful for Kabutops. I think he can beat Weezing 1v1 if it's the physically defensive set. This is also really helpful for Drifblim, because it does a ton of damage to that. But it's mainly there for Manaphy and Conkeldurr, and it takes this from Bisharp as well. Then, moving on, we've got Jirachi, Choice Scarf Jirachi. I really wanted to bring an Expert Belt Jirachi, but the speed was so nice, and because of my last Mon, I didn't really have much other speed control, so I ended up going with typical Iron Head, Heart Stamp, U-Turn, and Healing Wish. Iron Head and Heart Stamp, they hit respective things, like, you know, if it's super effective or not. The speed is really important in outspeeding a Venomoth at +1, and Heart Stamp can actually do a lot of damage to that. Heart Stamp does lots of Conkeldurr, Iron Head does a ton to Mamoswine. Yeah, just puts in a lot of work in general. U-Turn is there for switch priority, and Healing Wish might be able to heal up Zapdos or Suicune if they are having to tank a lot of hits. Like I said, Suicune can't take on a lot of his physical attackers if they're like as offensive as they can be. And if he brings more than one of them, I will need a Healing Wish up Suicune. If Suicune is forced to take a couple hits. But yeah, so that's the typical Jirachi. A lot goes into attack, and what doesn't go into attack goes in HP for extra bulk. Lastly, we are finally bringing Ditto. For the first time, we're bringing Ditto to the playoffs. It's kind of a risky decision, and you have to play super well with Ditto. That is like the bane of Ditto. If you don't play well, it is absolute dead weight. So first of all, EV is like, it's only HP because that's the only stat that really matters for Ditto. But Ditto is actually super good because he's got a lot of potential setup mons that I don't want to have to deal with. Manaphy, I beat that 1v1. If I let him Tail Glow up or Calm Mind all the way up, like, I will switch in on that and I will take all of his boosts and know all of his moves and can hit him back hard. So that's really important. Same goes for boosting up Bisharp. At +2, I survive a Sucker Punch and I KO Bisharp at full with Knockoff, which is really important because I have a Choice Scarf, so I'm guaranteed to outspeed his Pokemon unless it is also Choice Scarf, and in that case, it's a 50-50. Mamoswine does a lot of damage to Mamoswine. Whatever Conkeldurr he brings, my Ditto would beat it 1v1 with Drain Punch. Venomoth, if it's Quiver Dance, I could let it boost up and then sweep his own team with Venomoth. Espeon, Calm Mind Aromatisse. Volt switching with Rotom W. I can go into Mega Banet and Shadow Sneak to KO it, or Will-O-Wisp things. Kabutops, if he's SD Life Orb, which is a really threatening set, I can bring that in and KO him with the Waterfall and Aqua Jet. What else? Drifblim, if he likes to bring his like Amnesia or what's it called? Calm Mind Weakness Policy set. After Unburden, I copy abilities too, so I can have an Unburden, Choice Scarf, Drifblim at +2 attack and +2 special attack and plus whatever special defense. So this helps out with a lot of his setup mons, and it's kind of there as a revenge killer. So like, worst case scenario, I have to sacrifice something to a mon that has set up plenty and then bring in Ditto to at least scare it out and get a ton of damage off on what wants to come in. So Ditto could be really helpful in this game, and I really hope it gets some action. But we will see. We will see if we can beat Jerry in the playoffs. But until then, this has been Midnight Zero, and this mission is complete.